Hi guys, and welcome back to the channel. This is Funmibi here again with another video. In today's video, we are going to be talking about something interesting. Okay, I was sitting down just by myself scrolling through Instagram, and there were certain things that I was seeing, and it just brought about the idea for this video. In today's video, I'm going to be talking about best practices for fashion designers. I'm going to be speaking from the point of view of a fashion designer rendering service to a client, and I'm also going to be speaking from the point of view of a client that is patronizing a fashion designer and what I expect from a fashion designer basically as a client. So I'm speaking as a fashion designer and as a client. So it's supposed to be a very interactive video. If after watching you have something to say as well concerning this topic or relating to some of the points that I'll be bringing up in this video, please feel free to drop it in the comment section. I like to also read from you guys just so I know that we are interacting basically from these videos that I come on here with. Also, if you're not subscribed, what are you waiting for? Please hit the subscribe button, join us, like this video if after watching you enjoyed, which I'm sure you would. This is not a fight, it's just a conversation, right? So I don't expect anybody to get offended by some of the things I'll be saying in this video. Also, share with a friend if you think this is something interesting and you know someone that would like to watch or listen to something like this. Please feel free to share. All right guys, let's get straight into the meat and the potatoes of today's video. Let's go. All right guys, like I said, we're talking about best practices for fashion designers, and when I say best practices, it's just things that I believe we as fashion designers, I'm speaking as someone in the industry as well, what we should do in rendering services to our clients. Okay, so the first thing I would say and I will speak about first of all has to do with social media, and I'm talking about social media decorum. Okay, proper behavior, behaving ourselves on social media. We know that in this day and age a lot of fashion designers are looking into growing a presence online. Okay, they want to be known on social media because we've seen that social media is a very viable platform to find new clients and just grow a brand, right? So when I say social media decorum, it's just behaving ourselves, okay, maintaining, being civil on social media. All right, as a fashion designer, I don't expect you to always be getting into social media fights, calling out this person, calling out that person, or going into the comment section of people and just typing offensive stuff in the comment section. You know, like these days, sometimes I scroll through the comment section of some of all these like popular pages that we see online, and then I'll see people with their business name typing the most offensive things ever, like just it will just blow your mind away. And I'm like, oh my goodness, like seeing this, just looking at it, I'm already like, I feel a certain type of way towards this person. So I can imagine other people. It doesn't necessarily mean that the person typing these things doesn't sell like nice things, but you know, the thing they say about first impression, right? Seeing someone typing certain types of things on certain types of platforms online, it will leave a certain type of taste in the mouth of a prospective clients and reduce your chances. I'm not saying as a fashion designer you shouldn't do anything online and just be doing prim and proper online, but try your best. Like before you post a comment, before you post something on your page, think about it that if I'm saying this on another person's page, how would I feel? If I'm reading this in another person's comment section, how would I feel? Okay, I think it's nice for us as fashion designers to look inwards in how we behave ourselves. And I'm of the opinion that if you know you're the kind of person that is just, you know, happy-go-lucky and you like to just do stuff your way, if you know you're that kind of person, have a personal page. Okay, you don't have to use your business page as your personal page as well. You know, like if you know you're the kind of person that wants to have a separate personality online apart from being professional and put together, open a personal page and do whatever you like without your personal page. In the same, even with your personal page, this is not me giving you the license to just be uncouth because it's your personal page, right? Like behave yourself, but do it in a personal section, and then keep your professional page very professional. Post your work. I believe most of us that are trying to be online, we are just looking for clients, looking for money. So don't now be blocking your bag, right? Don't be hindering your bag. Make sure that you are securing your bag with your professional page, I mean, and then doing your hobby and happy-go-lucky stuff with your personal page. Another thing I would like to talk about when it comes to best practices is delivering on time. Delivering on time. What if I saw like the word has said, people have talk, like, oh, fashion designers can disappoint like Amaka, they can do this, they can do that. Please, I think in 2023 all of us need to do better, okay, when it comes to delivering client stuff on time. I think it's very disheartening to know that when people talk about Nigeria Nigerian tailors or tailors in general, well, let me speak for Nigerian tailors. I shouldn't speak about tailors in general. Like, they are kind of known for disappointment. You see memes online, you see funny videos where people talk about, oh, the tailor did this, tailor did that, and stuff like that. So I think as much as most of those videos are funny and we all laugh ha 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 about it, we should also look inwards. You shouldn't be the kind of tailor that people know that, you want to go to Kinecon Fashion House, better don't go there, she will disappoint you. She spoiled my sister's clothes, she spoiled my grandmother's clothes. Like, you should try your best to not be known for disappointment, okay? So in the same vein, let's not be greedy as well, because I find that most tailors that fall into the trap of disappointing clients and stuff like that, a lot of times is greed that comes into play in those kind of situations. You are taking on more clients than you can handle. I think as a fashion designer, especially someone that's been running a business for a while, you should know the number of items that you can handle per time and be able to schedule, okay, if I dedicate so amount of days to this person's clothes, I will be able to deliver by so time, right? Don't now know fully well that you have a time frame for a particular cloth. You now still take on extra clothes, knowing fully well that it will shake you to be able to deliver, right? Let's behave ourselves. I know everybody is trying to be profitable and make money, but don't take on more than you can handle, right? Take on the amount of clothes that you can handle. And if you're working with third-party people, like maybe you run a fashion house and the people that are bidding your clothes are different from people that will weave it, are different. Make sure that you are working hand in hand with these people and make them know the importance of integrity when it comes to timing and delivery of service. And the moment someone is known for trying to spoil your brand, I think it's left to you to now change them out and look for a more reliable person, right? If you have a bidder that anytime you send clothes to this bidder, the person always spoils your work and makes your delivery short or late for your clients, they don't need to tell you. You don't have to sit down with that person. Look for somebody else that is more reliable and just do something that would make you known for being a tailor that is professional, okay? Don't be known as a tailor that is always disappointing. I think that's another point that I have for our fashion designers on here. Another thing I'd like to also state is paying attention to detail, okay? As a fashion designer that is trying to grow a strong brand and become like one of the top fashion designers in whatever country or city that you're based in, you should be able to pay attention to details. And when I say pay attention to details, is to the tiniest things, okay? Look at before you send out clothes for delivery to clients. As the creative director or CEO, as most of our people like to call themselves, right? As the person running that business, you should be able to look at those clothes before they go out. If you cannot do it for yourself, if you are very busy, employ somebody whose job is quality control. All you are paying that person for is to look at clothes before they go out for delivery. Is there straight thread here? Is there pin inside this cloth? Is there button missing in this dress? Did they beat this cloth properly? Is the neckline sitting right? Those things, look at them. If you cannot look at them personally, if your business is so big and so busy, employ somebody whose job is doing all of that, okay? Making sure that your work is perfect as much as possible. I know we cannot see everything 100%, but you don't want to be the tailor that every time you send clothes to your clients, they will wear it to a party and they will see that, something is choking me. Then when they check, they will see pin inside their clothes. Or every time you send cloth out like this, is a thread flowing all around the place, thread sticking out in the neck, sticking out in the button, or they will receive their clothes, no button. They will have to open the cloth, or they will have to be tacking the button on by themselves at home. Like, those things usually leave a sour taste in the mouth of clients. And I'm speaking for myself. I won't be happy if I pay a fashion designer, because I don't sew all my clothes, right? But if I'm paying you to make a dress for me and maybe the dress is supposed to have button and you send it to me and there's no button in there, of course I can fix a button by myself, but why am I paying you if I still have to fix button by myself at home, right? Like, make it make sense. So let's try and pay attention to details as much as possible. And when you find that, okay, your client is upset, you did something that was clearly your fault, let's not be too proud to apologize, right? I know some people saying sorry is such a huge, they will rather, that funny video that they do on TikTok, do something or do another thing, like maybe say sorry or drown. So people would rather drown than say sorry, okay? Let's be able to apologize when we know clearly that we've dropped the ball, okay? Let's not allow pride to now step into the business that we are running and ruin things for us, okay? So that's all about paying attention to detail. The next thing I would also like to mention is cleanliness and hygiene as a fashion designer. I'm speaking for myself now, where most times, the place I go to buy fabric, most times those clothes are spread out on the floor. I'm not going to whine you. And a lot of us that shop from local markets out here in Nigeria, more often than not in those shops, those clothes are just spread out on the floor. It's occasionally that you walk into stores where they've arranged the clothes nicely on racks and put everything. Most times they'll just spread it on the floor. You see clients stepping on the clothes, picking up and cutting yards of fabric. So buying your fabric from that kind of place, coming home, sewing it, and just sending it out to your clients, knowing the kind of condition you bought that fabric from, is not adding up, right? So as a fashion designer, if you cannot dry clean the cloth after sewing before sending it out for delivery, wash the fabric even before you even cut it or do anything. Wash the fabric. And now I'm speaking about most of all these our sample materials. I'm talking crepe, mikado, and the rest of those types of fabric. Wash them first before sewing, or after you've sewn, after your tailor, if you have tailors that you've employed, after you've sewn, dry clean it. And when dry cleaning, factor it into the price that you're charging your client, okay? You shouldn't be using your personal money to be dry cleaning clothes for your client. So most of all these extra charges that I'm talking about, washing the fabric and doing all of this, you should have factored it into the total cost of the outfit that you're making, right? If you're making headpiece and you know that, okay, I'm using Mikado to make this headpiece, and I need to wash the cloth first. If you want to charge the client for the soap and the lights that you use to run your washing machine, add it to the charge of the cloth, right? Most of all these things, when people are patronizing brands, I think people are patronizing quality, okay? So when they know you for a certain type of quality, they won't mind paying extra. I've made a whole video on coming up with pricing for items. If you've not seen that video, I'm going to link it on the screen. So let's not be known for whenever you send clothes out to people, it's be smelling like fufu. Like, let's not be known as that kind of fashion designer, okay? So try your best to make sure that things are clean. If possible, buy a whole perfume, that this perfume is for spraying my clients' clothes, so that when they receive, once they open the box or open the bag where the item is coming from, the kind of fragrance that is coming to them, people that shop from me, they know that my items have a signature scent, right? And where did I buy that scent from? I bought it from Miniso. That perfume is strictly for my pieces, okay? The pieces I'm sending out to my clients, I spray it down, make sure that it has a nice fragrance. If I'm working with fabric, I wash the fabric before making a headpiece out of it. The only time when I wouldn't wash is maybe if I'm working with Ankara. Most times when you buy Ankara fabric, and when I'm talking about Ankara, I mean African prints, they're usually like in a more professional setting when you buy it. At least where I buy from, the shop is clean, I pick up of the rack and stuff like that. But if I'm working with all these sample materials that people are just stepping on, I wash it first before doing anything at all. So let's be very hygienic in the outlook. Don't be the kind of tailor that sends dirty clothes to clients. Like, it's not nice. The next thing I'll also be talking about is when it comes to embellishments and accessories. And this one is, I know some people might feel a certain type of way about this point, but it is testing out certain accessories before using them on clients. I've had situations where I buy, say, a cup chain, and in my opinion, the cup chain looks nice and perfect and all of that. And then I use it to make, say, a headpiece. And after a while, I see that that cup chain is washing. Like, maybe I bought it gold. The gold is changing, it's starting to rust and look faded, okay? I know some fashion designers will argue that, oh, I'm not the manufacturer of the cup chain. How am I supposed to know that it's going to wash? But it is, in my opinion now, it is your job to test these things on yourself or on someone close to you. If you have a sister, if you have even a staff, tell them, oh, use this thing on your clothes. After you wash it, tell me, does it change color? Or even soak it in water. Let me know, does it change color and stuff like that, right? Test most of these things on yourself before now rendering it as a service. Most times customers don't know all this, am I the manufacturer and stuff like that. Is what they are saying that will start to upset them, right? So if you test out a particular thing and see that, oh, this thing has a particular issue with it, I don't recommend that you use it to make things for people, right? And even if you're going to make it for people, let them know that, oh, after a while, oh, this thing is going to be like this, so, and stuff like that, or don't even use it at all. So test out this product. Even fabrics, okay? If you're making a dress for someone and let's say it's a cotton African print fabric, more often than not, we know that those cotton African print fabrics do not run, okay? They don't wash. But there are certain times when I bought Ankara fabric, and I mean African print fabric, and they've changed color. I washed it like this, everything just washed and became yam pepper scatter inside water, right? That kind of situation, imagine if I'd made that kind of thing as a dress to a client and sent it out to them and they washed it and everything starts to run like that, the person will be furious, okay? So test some of these things out. Even if you don't want to make a whole dress for yourself out of that fabric, pick it up, soak it in water, shake it a bit and see, oh, is it running? Is it changing color? Is it having changes? Even with headpiece, just cut a little piece, mess around with it a bit, see how it does, see if it changes. The point here is test accessories, test fabrics before using them to make items for people and sending it to them, just to avoid issues. The final thing I'm going to be talking about is in our relationship with as boss or creative director or CEO to staff, okay? Let's try our best to maintain a nice or cordial, warm relationship with our staff while still remaining professional. I know some people, a lot of tailors talk about, I cannot be nice to my tailors. So if you're nice to them, they will take advantage of me. Nobody is saying you should turn yourself to a clown or a comedian with them, but let's be nice to them. Let's have empathy with most of these people, because they're the ones at the end of the day, they are part of the brands that we are trying to create. Okay, you cannot on your own create a brand. If you're forming, oh, I will create it by myself, you will beat the cloth, you will sew the cloth, you will iron the cloth, you will do this and that. You cannot do it alone. You need a community of people, and these people that are assisting you in growing the brand that you're creating, it only makes sense to be nice to them, okay, while still being professional. And like I said, being nice to them does not mean you should now be a comedian and just be taking nonsense, but I think you should see them as human beings too. Basically, that's all I'm saying there. And I pray that God will give us all wisdom. If there's anything that I missed out in this video, if there's anything that as a client you get to experience with tailors and maybe I didn't bring it up here, let's talk about it in the comment section. If you're also a fashion designer, a tailor, a millionaire, someone in the fashion industry that does stuff like this, you render service to customers, if there's anything that you think your colleagues in this same industry can do better, let's know down in the comment section. I'd really love to hear from you guys. If you enjoyed watching, please do well to hit the thumbs up button so I know you guys enjoyed. If you're not subscribed, please remember to hit the subscribe button on your way out. Thank you guys so much for watching, and yeah guys, I can't wait to see you in another video very, very soon. Bye.